All right, it's been a while since we've done a reaction to anything from the Cost or El Estepario Siberiano. Part of the reason is El Estepario Siberiano hasn't been doing a lot of releases on his channel. There's been a few, and we can talk about those, but this is mainly about the Cost. They did tour during the summer to all the different rock festivals that they got to go to, and they really got to showcase something that I kind of already knew was going to be the case. You do not take three musicians that love playing live music, put them in a band called The Cost, and not expect them to kill it live. This is BRICKLAYER from the Leodas del Rock Festival, I think in Spain, 2025. I'm going to do a reaction to it. You guys know I love The Cost. I love what these guys do. Chris, Peter, and of course, El Estepario Siberiano. They do outstanding stuff. So if you have not checked out The Cost album, you need to check it out. If you get a chance to see The Cost in Europe, please do. Let me know how it was, because I don't get to go. All right, here we go. My reaction to a live performance from The Cost at the Leodas del Rock Festival 2025. Let's do it. BRICKLAYER. Yes, El Estepario Siberiano has two sticks stuck in his pants. Why? Because you never know when he's going to use them. Come on. If you've seen me see reactions to this, we know what he's going to do. Crazy stuff. Also understand, both Chris and Peter will take you on a trip as well. Chris Atwell, Peter Connolly. There's a reason why El Estepario Siberiano is in The Cost with these guys. They do on guitars and vocals, and then of course on bass, what he loves to do on drums. Creativity to its absolute, just as far as they can go.
Put your hands together for Chris Atwell al bajo eléctrico.
See? Playing that claw hammer, man. Claw hammer style.
I leave my home at night when everyone is asleep. My colors in the light I never thought I would see. Out here it's not the same. Can't hear my words when I scream. Came for the massive break. I know it's only a dream, you know. The smoke got over, cannot breathe. Hey, brother, won't you show me how to live? I thought that I had nothing left to give. I thought that there was no God that could be. I thought I saw it all when it was real. I know that I'm a dead man. Locked in a freezing state, ripping through my sense of self. They look but they don't care. Back home I'm somebody else. Top of my humble space, enough to bury my world. Afraid to close my eyes and start all over again. You know, I built this place with my own hands. Hey, brother, won't you show me how to live? I thought that I had nothing left to give. I thought that there was no God that called me. I thought I'd never spend another blind in midnight. I am no more.
right. Okay. Why do I love this band so much? Well, because I'm a fan of Rush. I grew up listening to Rush. Now, am I saying that the cost is Rush? No, I am not at all. Remember, Rush were three guys from Canada that got together and said, we're going to be absolute monster musicians and we're going to bring ideas to radio-centric music that people never thought about doing. And in doing so, they ruffled a lot of feathers. They knew that they were going to be on the outside, but they built this amazing fan base of people that understood that three guys could sound like a band like Uriah Heep that has 8 guys in it, or, right? And the way you do that is you find a drummer who's going to be a percussionist. There's a difference. Are you a percussionist or are you just a drummer? They are different things. If you're a percussionist, anything that can make a rhythmic sound is possible. And we can go as far as we need to. Then you got to find a bass player that has jazz chops, progressive chops, to where just playing downbeats is never enough. Yes, you're going to play the bass line. You're going to play that low-end downbeat style. What do you do in that measure outside of that to fill in the sound? If you do that, then you have what's called a dynamic rhythm section that can fill out a song, fill out an arrangement in a way that even though you're a 3-piece, you're putting as much music dynamics and phrasing into something that would take 3, 4, 5 musicians, but you're keeping it as a 3-piece. Now, that also puts a lot of pressure. If Chris Atwell and Estepario Siberiano are going to create dynamic rhythm sections where it not only has complicated rhythmic details, but also allows the bass to fill in a lot of excess harmonic and melodic tones to go along with the melody that Peter's putting together. Now Peter has to come up with guitar phrasing, melodic schemes from the guitar side, and Peter's one hell of a vocalist. So what are the advantages of having 3 musicians like this as a trio doing music? We know what the disadvantages are. Less hands, less feet, less possibilities of what 3 musicians can do versus 5 musicians or 6 musicians. Or if you're Uriah Heep or Leonard Skinnerd, a dozen or so. Okay. What are the drawbacks? Well, you can only do so much with 3 people unless you bring together 3 musicians that are willing to go as far as it takes to create something that is unique. Check. Then one of the advantages of having a 3-piece like this is there's only 3 egos. There's only 3 perspectives. There's only 3 interpretations of what you're doing. So if those 3 people can get on the same page, it's a tight situation. Versus, oh, well, there's 5 of us, 4 of us are on the same page, but one of us isn't feeling it. It's harder to put together something the more members you have in a band. It just is. Sometimes magic happens. But a tight trio that is on the same page, all 3 of them consummate musicians, and not just from a rock or metal perspective. Look back at Peter and Chris's dynamics before the cost. They're playing jazz. They're playing funk. They're playing dynamics that are well beyond standard 4-on-the-floor rock arrangements. So they're willing to go outside the box to fill in the holes. With that kind of creativity, you have things that the cost can do. The reason why Estepario Siberiano's drumming channel is so huge is not because he's the fastest drummer in the world. It's not because he's the greatest drummer in the world. I'm not saying that. Estepario Siberiano is saying that. He's saying he watches a Meshuggah video and it's like, holy crap. He watches Neil Peart. He watches all these other drummers and he's like, he watches Danny Carey and he's like, I'm going to try to learn this section of Tool. And then he does a whole video where he's like, he's flabbergasted. It's because he steps outside the box. He will do things different than what other percussionists will think to do. Estepario Siberiano may not be the best drummer on the planet. His words, not mine. I know a lot of you feel that he is the greatest drummer on the internet, and he might be. But from his perspective, he feels that all these other drummers are his heroes, and they do things he can't. But he has a different perspective. He'll take you on a journey and get you to the same destination in a way and a direction and a style that you didn't expect was going to work. That's what makes him amazing, because he does things people don't think are possible or thinking outside the box, like a Neil Peart, like a Danny Carey. When you look at things where it's not how fast I'm going to go, it's not how big I'm going to go, it's how dynamic and different and unique I can be and get you to the same place. That's what's called being a dynamic percussionist does. And that's why when you look at someone like a Neil Peart, who not only did all the drumming in Rush, but wrote a lot of the lyrics, it's a creativity style. Go watch all of Estepario Siberiano's videos. None of them are about, I'm going to just play this better than someone else did. That's not the point. It's I'm going to do this, and he'll literally look at the camera and go, hey, everybody, I'm going to play this, and this is not how you do this. I'm going to completely mess this up. He'll say it right to your face, and then you're like, it's the best thing ever, because it's different. The Cost is not a cookie cutter band. It's not a cookie cutter experience. Peter Connolly is going to sing it in a way that you're not expecting. Estepario Siberiano is going to take you on a journey in a way you weren't expecting to go. And then when you watch Chris on bass, that dude is just an absolute monster rhythmically on bass. And this is during the guitar solo, so you don't get to see Chris at that point. But when Chris Atwell's playing bass, he uses that claw hammer style where he's pulling on 3, slapping on and slapping and also pulling with the thumb. That claw hammer style, the people that really master it from the bass, they're not playing with 1, they're playing with 4. And from a bass perspective, they can play on the bass similar to someone playing the keys of a keyboard. There's a lot of different options. Now, where do you normally see that? You see it in Spanish guitar playing. You see it in a lot of acoustic guitar playing. One of the best known ways that you see claw hammer technique, dynamic claw hammer, is in banjo playing. Think about how a banjo sounds completely different than someone playing a guitar. When a guitarist is playing a chord, a banjo is playing 6 notes individually in that measure of a chord. That's what makes a banjo so unique. When you do that on a bass, the possibilities are endless. Not only from a melodic and bass line perspective, also rhythmically. So the Cost is doing all the things that made me fall in love with Rush. Are they telling stories that are freaking J.R.R. Tolkien novels with a twist? No, that was basically Neil Peart taking us on a fantastical journey similar to Coheed and Cambria did, and still does. That's why I love the Cost. People ask me, why do you love the Cost so much? It's because of the difference. It's because they are that unique. Are they the best band in the world? That's subjective. You've seen The Wall. You've seen the list of bands that I love. I love them all for different reasons. This is the band that I love for sheer musicianship, creativity, and thinking outside the box. Now, do I think Calva Louise and the Cost can have one hell of a live show? Absolutely. Check out Calva Louise. That's another band which just takes musicianship to its ultimate level. A 3-piece that is so dynamic, you have to ask yourself, how the hell are they coming up with this? It's out there. So let me finish playing the song, and so that way we can enjoy that together. But I wanted to talk about that a little bit because I've been singing the praises of this band for a while, and I'm really looking forward to the next album, the next idea that they come up with. Because everything they came up with this debut single and EP and album they did, it's exactly what I hoped for. It's the next one I'm looking forward to now. So let's finish it out. That was good. That was slick. Oh, it's so good, that off count. Oh my God, the off count's so good.
Thank you, Muchísimas gracias.
All right, so there you go. Chris Atwell, Peter Connolly, and some crazy groove father guy that plays the drums, Estepario Siberiano, the cost. My name is Old School Nerd. I was excited for this band the second Estepario Siberiano announced it on his channel and listed Chris and Peter in it. And I started deep diving into Chris and Peter's previous works, and I was just thinking to myself, this was going to be something unique. I'm so happy that I was right. If you haven't checked out the Cost album, please do so below. I will have all of the Cost information in the description below, as well as, of course, Estepario Siberiano's information. All three of the members of this band have social media, Instagram. I'll have all that stuff listed below as well. If you can't find music you like from this band after all the information I'm going to have down in the description, I cannot help you. You're on your own. And with that, I got to go. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you enjoyed this video, give us a like. It really helps the channel grow. Also, if you want to subscribe, right over there. A big thank you to all my Patreons out there for everything you do. And if you want more content like this, check them out above. Remember, love one another, take care of each other. We're all stuck on this mud ball together. We'll see you later.